So it goes without saying, 2020 is a very interesting time in a lot of things, but specifically in the smartphone game here. I have the iPhone SE 2020 edition right here in hand, and we're going to do a little unboxing and sort of first look at it, give my first impressions of it. But really, it is interesting that we're now seeing, pretty much since the start of last year with Google and the Pixel A series, that we're seeing what we used to be the flagship brands out there kind of pushing downwards into the mid-range space and trying to compete at a pretty high level down there, while we're seeing a lot of what used to be the mid-range champions sort of try to push their way into the flagship space. Sort of this weird swap out that's sort of happening here. And we're seeing that once again here with the iPhone SE 2020. And let's see what Apple has in here so far, and if it's going to get those iPhone 6, 7, 8, and previous SE users finally to upgrade to a newer iPhone. So the iPhone SE, box-wise, comes with typically what you expect inside of an iPhone. You get a pair of headphones that are lightning cable enabled, you get the lightning cable itself, and you also are going to get yourself a wall adapter. A little disappointed in the fact that there isn't an adapter inside of here to use a 3.5mm headphone jack. Not something I would expect from Apple, but I think at this price point, I think a lot of people are probably going to want to use different headphones, probably have ones that they want to use that aren't lightning enabled, and probably one of the holdouts they have been holding out for is because of the headphone jack, and they're not in the market that they're probably going to buy a $150 to $250 pair of truly wireless headphones, earbuds to be used. So I would have liked to kind of seen that in here instead of just kind of going with the typical Apple ones that are never really kind of the best. Nevertheless, that's what you get inside the packaging. It's pretty simple, what you kind of expect there with it. As far as the device itself, it's an aluminum and glass build, which feels really good in the hand and nice, sleek. It kind of reminds me, actually, as thin as it is, it really feels like an old school iPod Touch in its feel, and it kind of has that look, as you can see with it, as we have the return of Touch ID at the bottom with haptic feedback. I'm a big fan of fingerprint sensors, so I'm glad to see that that's there. I think it's really useful, and I just feel it's much more functional than Face ID or all these other ones for right now. I kind of like being able to touch that sensor and unlock my phone. There's just sort of just a vibe I get that I like a lot better when doing that. The model that I choose is the 64GB black version. That's gonna be for the $399 price point that it's currently at, which is what makes this iPhone so attractive for a lot of people. Has a 4.7-inch Retina HD display on it. It's going to have a 7-megapixel front-facing camera, and it's going to have a 12-megapixel wide rear camera as well too, with an LED flash. It's pretty simplistic. It's what you expect to see from an iPhone. You're getting iOS 13. You're getting the A13 processor inside of here, which is pretty cool to have. So you're getting the latest processor, the same ones you see inside of an iPhone 11 you're getting inside of here. I think it's a pretty good thing, and probably a lot easier for Apple to do, since they do fabricate their own chips and design their own stuff. Probably easy just to put an A13 on there instead of some different processor that they'd also have to kind of continue to maintain and support. Some other cool features here you normally don't see down in this price point. The iPhone is water and dust resistant as well. We'll put that to the test. It's also got wireless charging here as well too, something that the Pixel last year did not have. So that's actually a nice cool bonus to have. So at least you'll be able to charge and listen to music at the same time if you choose to do so. So it's really interesting to kind of go back to this size of a phone, especially for me if somebody has massive hands. As you can kind of see here, the phone really does kind of fit snug in my hand, but kind of very small. So there's some typing issues with me, but I have big hands, so that's kind of one of the reasons why I tend to prefer bigger screen phones. So I'm not knocking this, but there are folks out there that just want a smaller phone. There's folks out there that just are going to kind of want something a little bit more simpler in the case, and that's what this is kind of offering here in the iPhone SE. Now let's do some preliminary testing here with the camera. I took some quick shots with the rear-facing camera, which I'll pull up right here. Also took some quick shots with the front-facing camera as well, and also took some video as well too, because this is capable of 4K up to 4K 60 HD recording, which is pretty cool. I only do 4K 30p for the video's sake here because of how I'm editing this video, but you kind of get the idea here of what you're getting in terms of quality. that's just a quick look at it. I'm obviously gonna do some more testing here as I kind of go with this. This phone for me right now, personally, it's not something I probably would pick up, but I'm going to review this in sort of the space of someone that would. That's probably just more of a simple smartphone user. They have, maybe some emails, some text messages, some phone calls, a few apps here and there, keep connected with social media. And that's all they're really using their phone for. They're not using it for the boast of other things that a lot of us do on some of the bigger smartphones, and doing a lot more smartphone computing and tasks and doing a lot of things with that other than what people are doing here. Probably just some real simple stuff, a little bit of music streaming, and that's how I'm going to do my sort of test as I kind of go through the review phase. I'm going to test it from that user's perspective, because I already know, as someone that's a power user myself, I'm a Note 10 user, I have an iPhone 11 Pro. I'm more into that space, but I want to make sure when I'm giving you sort of my final review of this, I'm reviewing it from the space that this product is pretty much meant for. I think you do have a really good competitor, which is going to be coming up against the Pixel 4a, this Pixel 3a XL, which you're seeing right here, which is a phone I really, really liked, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in an upcoming video in time for the Pixel 4a to come out, because I really think that's going to be also a pretty good competitor out there in this space. So we're seeing Google and we're seeing Apple kind of compete here. We see Samsung with the A series do this as well too. They might step into this a little bit more. I would like to see them get a little more specific in their series with this to compete against here in this space. But let me know your questions, comments, concerns below about the iPhone SE as I kind of put it through its paces. Let me know what you guys want to know about, anything you want to specifically see. Like I said, I'm going to be reviewing this from the position of somebody that would probably be using this phone, not from my own personally, because that's not going to really give you the right review. I'm a power user, but somebody that might not be so much, I want to make sure you have the right idea if you're thinking about picking up the iPhone SE 2020. That's what we'll call it here. Like I said, questions, comments, concerns, post them below. Thank you for watching, and always remember to live your tech world in high definition.